calling the city council meeting for April 26, 2023 to order. Please all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
An invocation.
Invocation will be by Aubrey Lady Wanda McDowell.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord God, we thank you for blessing us to see another day. We ask you, Lord, to come into our council chambers, bless this city as we conduct all the business of the city of Markham, that everything we do is done decent and in order. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We do the roll call.
Aubrey Lady McDowell.
Present.
Alderman Barron.
Present.
Aubrey Lady Hampton Hauser.
Present.
Alderman Jones.
Present.
The mayor is not present, so the council needs to vote to appoint a temporary chair for this meeting.
Make a motion that Senior Alderman Rondell Jones be the acting chair for this council meeting.
Second. You gotta take a roll on that?
Alderman Lady Hampton Hauser.
Yes.
Alderman Jones.
Do I abstain? Abstain.
Alderman Lady McDowell.
Yes.
Alderman Barron.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right.
I'd like to make someone to approve the minutes for the meeting for March 15th, 2023, April 5th, 2023.
I'll make a motion. Did you say something already? Oh, second.
All right. I made the motion, second by Wanda.
Alderman Lady Hampton Hauser.
Yes.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
Alderman Barron.
Yes.
Aubrey Lady McDowell.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thanks. All right. Approval, authorization, claims and accounts, the bill list.
Yes. Alderman, I make a motion that we approve the invoice payments, approval of bills for April 26, 2023, which reads as follows. $107.44. We're at $77,083.08. We have solid waste, I'm sorry. 75,000, my apologies, $75,083.08. We have solid waste at $222,070.16, followed by motor fuel at $4,139.34. We have the Markham Senior Living Complex at $26,237.79. The roller rink at $2,909.76. Debt service, $2,500 even. We also have TIF Canterbury at $36,710.10. TIF Dixie Highway at $203,496.50, which gives us a total of $1,028,954.17. We have manual checks as well at $1,855.20, which gives us a grand total of $30,809.37.
$1 million.
Oh, 1 million. I'm sorry, I didn't say, what did I say? I said 1,000. Man, that's an apology on my part. I'm usually on top of that. So let me make that correction. We got a total of $1,030,809.37. My apologies. I said 1,000. Wow, that's a big
Alderman
difference.
McDowell,
Yes.
Alderman Barron,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Hampton Houser.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. We have a special presentation by RJN Group Incorporated. Are they here, civil engineer? May I have a motion to open the meeting up to RJN Group?
I make a motion to open the floor to R&J Group, Inc.
Second.
Can I just say one thing? I think, Mr. Champion, I think you should give us a little leeway in exactly what we're getting ready to listen
All
to
right, sounds like a plan.
Yes.
Thank you.
before the gentleman comes up.
Yes. As we have been discussing over the last several months, we have been working on infrastructure dollars to replace some of the water mains and sewer lines in the city of Markham. We've been working very closely with Akwesi, with the RGN group, and he's going to give us a presentation on some of the funding sources that we're going after, and he'll be open for a Q&A as well. It's yours, Akwesi.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, everyone here. Thank you, council members. For taking the time to be here. I'll be talking about the east side water main and the left of my removal, as well as the combined sewer project within the east side. I'll be using a lot of acronyms today, so please feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions. And like Barry stated again, at the end of the presentation, I'll stick around if you guys have any additional questions. I'll be able to answer that for you. So, my name is Akwesi Nketia. I serve as a principal project manager at RGN Group. On the right-hand side of the screen is a little bit about my professional background and qualifications. RGN Group was established in 1975. It has offices nationwide, and it has 3 offices in the Chicagoland area. I work in the Dollars Grove office. We have an office in Joliet and another office in West Chicago. Our area of expertise is underground infrastructure. Again, the purpose of this presentation is to talk about the funded opportunities that are out there, and how the city is positioning itself to take advantage of it. So I'll start this presentation by first talking about the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed by President Joe Biden in November 2021. Then I'll also talk about some of the funding pursuits and the recent awards by the city. And then I'll get into the current regulations that are out there pertaining to the left of this line. I'm sure you've heard a lot about that. And the focal point of today's presentation is going to be the east side water main. And again, the LSLR stands for the left of this line removal and the project. I'll then go into the next step of the funding process and answer any questions that you may have. So again, in November 2021, President Biden passed the bipartisan infrastructure law that is making $1.2 trillion available to fund it for infrastructure. As you can see on the screen here, those are the 9 major areas that the funding is going to be going to. The $55 billion that's going to the clean water infrastructure, $110 billion going to the roads and bridges, $65 billion going to the affordable high-speed internet. This is in turn one of the lifetime funded opportunity out there. And so we're just positioning ourselves to go after this funding to address the infrastructure needs for the community. The next slide here shows the 6 states that have the largest allocation of the bipartisan infrastructure. And I don't know how that was determined, but again, I think it's based on population because the first state that had the highest was California, which is $44.5 billion. Texas, $35.4 billion. 26.9 billion for the state of New York, 19 billion for Florida, 17.8 billion for Pennsylvania, and Illinois, also 17.8 billion. So again, there's a lot of money coming through, and we want to take advantage of that. I'm going to give a little bit of an overview of the IEPA. The IEPA stands for the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency. And that is the agency in the state of Illinois that will be getting the funds from the federal government for this infrastructure when it comes to the underground utilities, like the water main, the lead lines, and the combined sewer. So the state revolving fund is a low-interest loan that funds projects that improves water quality. And under that program, there are two parts. The first one is the Public Water Supply Loan Program, which funds projects like water main replacement, elevated water tanks, the lead service line removal and replacement, the water meters, and then there is also the Water Pollution Control Loan Program, which funds like the sewer main, the combined sewers, and things of that nature. It's called revolving because the money that gets paid and the interest that is made goes back into a pot that is used to fund additional projects. So the city is going after funding to work on the water main and the lead service line within the east side neighborhood and the combined sewer within the east side neighborhood as well. And the benefits of this program is a reduced interest rate. There's a lot of principal forgiveness, basically that means rent or money that is forgiven, and longer loan terms, which a lot of it is going to apply to low to moderate communities, which the city of Markham stands to benefit greatly from. Here's a snapshot of some of the funding coming through for the state of Illinois. So for the next 5 years, there's going to be $500 million for lead pipe removal. For fiscal year 2024, that amount is $107 million. And out of that $107 million, $52.4 million of that is going to be forgiven. So as you know, there's a lot of demand for the lead service replacement. So the sooner you get in line, the better, because that money will not be available by the time that you get it. But for fiscal year 2025, there is $230 million that is available. Out of that, $112 million is going to be forgiven. And for fiscal year 2026 and beyond, that is not being determined yet. That is going to come out next year. For the Public Water Supply Loan Program, which is the PWSLP, which is used in funding the water main, for fiscal year 2024, there's $94 million that is available. Again, a lot of it is going to be forgiven. For fiscal year 2025, it's $78 million. And for the Water Pollution Control Loan Program, which is the WPCLP, for fiscal year 2024, there's $132 million that's available. And for 2025, there's $128 million that's available. Again, a lot of that is going to be forgiven. So recent awards and funding pursuit. Within the past 6 months, the city has won several grants. And the first one is the $40,000 that we got from the IEPA for the lead service line inventory program. I'm going to get into the specifics of it in the subsequent slides. We also recently got awarded, city got awarded federal funding through the Congress to meet MWRD, which is Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, for the inflow and infiltration program. That amount is yet to be determined, but it's going to be in the millions as well. And $150,000 for grant from the DCEO for street resurfacing. And about 2 weeks ago, I got on a call with Mr. Champion, and I'd like to thank him so much for all his efforts and being very proactive in going after these funding opportunities for the city of Markham. But we got on a call, and the city got awarded funding for the Bel Air neighborhood flooding. This is going to be in the amount of about $4 million. And MWRD is currently working on the intergovernmental agreement for the city. In addition to that, we're still pursuing some funding opportunities out there. There was round 2 of the IEP lead service line inventory program, which we applied for, submitted that on Tuesday. We're also looking for some additional funding for water main replacement. Again, like I talked about the east side water main and lead service line removal project, the east side combined sewer rehab project, and the Cook County Department of Transportation and Highways Invest in Cook program, where we're looking at about 500,000 to work on some roadways and ADA improvements. So I wanted to show the slide here to illustrate the areas in town where we are, going for these funds and, the recent awards. And the first one is the Bel Air neighborhood flooding. Again, that's what I just talked about, and the BRD will be funding the project. It is anticipated to begin sometime this June. There's going to be a preliminary study before we go into the design and construction. So it may take several years. The next one is the 40,000 that we won from the IEPA for the citywide lead service line inventory program. This is citywide. Next one here is 150,000 from the DCEO for the street resurfacing. The country air sewer rehab that is also in the BRD funding that project. And 1 million that we're asking for from the Army Corps of Engineers Chicago District to upsize water mains within the area of town. And lastly, the IEPA SRF funding for the water main and lead service line within the east side of town. Okay, well, the 40,000 that we recently applied for the second round of funding through the IEPA for the lead service line inventory program as well. And lastly, the roadway and ADA repairs from the County Department of Transportation and Highways. I wanted to show this to form the framework and the foundation for the next slide that I'll be talking about. This is very typical for villages and cities in the state of Illinois when it comes to the water main. The blue represents the water main down here in the street, right there. And this is the service line that connects to the home. So typically the city is responsible for this water main and a portion of the service line until it ends here at the blue box, which is also the curb stop. And the resident is responsible from that point all the way to the home where the meter is. This slide shows the estimated number of lead service lines by state. And as you can see, the state of Illinois leads that with over 700,000 lead service lines, followed by Ohio, going all the way down. This slide talks about the Lead Service Line Replacement and Notification Act. So in January 2022, Governor Prisco passed the Lead Service Line Replacement and Notification Act, which requires all communities to develop an inventory and comprehensive database to identify the service lines of all the water services within the community. So again, if we go back, that is the service line that connects from the main all the way to the house. So every community is responsible in doing that. And that is where we want the 40,000 to do that program. So in the next couple of weeks, we are working on a postcard that we're going to be getting out to the residents to help us identify the service line on your property. Basically, there's a quick test that you can do where you take a flat screwdriver, you scratch it, and if it's shiny, most likely you have lead. If it looks like a penny, then it's a copper pipe. If you scratch it and it's dull, it is galvanized. And if it's plastic, you can tell that too. But Public Works will be helping with this test. If you have any questions, if you need any additional assistance, you can reach out to them. And the final submittal for this is April 15th of 2024. And again, the purpose of this is to identify any lead service lines that you have within your community and come up with a game plan to replace it all. So that's the part that we'll be talking about, the east side water main and lead service line removal project. We are already on top of this. The project area down on the east side, based on our discussions with Public Works, is the area that is known to have some lead service lines in there. And the blue lines show the distribution of the water main within the city. The red axis are water main breaks within the past 3 years. So as you can see, throughout the entire city, the infrastructure is pretty old. There's a lot of water main breaks, and every time the city gets a water main break, it's losing water, it's losing revenue. But as you can see on the east side, there's quite a bit, and that is the area that is known to have lead service lines. So it made sense for us to begin going for funding in this area where we have the lead service lines, because as part of the regulation, all lead service lines will need to be replaced. The project is going to be broken down into phases because it's so huge. This is a blowout of the east side area. And I know there are a lot of colors in here, so I'll do my best to explain. But again, after the presentation, I'm going to be here. If you have any specific questions, I'll be more than happy to answer for you. So the area is about 305 acres. There's 53,000 linear feet of water main and approximately about 1,250 lead service lines. So the first phase of the project is going to be on Damon, Dixie, and Winchester. So there's a legend, it's a table right here that shows, which year, which phases they're going to be. So the first phase is going to be these three, 1, 2, 3, and the homes highlighted in red, what is going to be part of the first phase as far as replacing the lead service lines. The next phase is going to be the ones in green and the water mains as well. The third phase is going to be the ones in light green with the water mains as well, in that order. And this is going to span a 6-year period, because we got to do it in phases and take advantage of the funding that is out there, the forgiveness that is out there. The estimated cost for the project is going to be the $23 million. And this is just for the water main and lead service lines. Combined sewer main. So the sewers within the east side are combined sewers. And what is a combined sewer? A combined sewer is a sewer that combines stormwater, which is rainwater, and the sewage from the house. So those images out there, and I do a good job explaining that. So this is the sewer that we have on the east side, which is a combined sewer. We have a line that connects the homes, which is the wastewater line, and that takes the sewage from when you take a shower, when you use the bathroom, the kitchen, that gets into the wastewater line. But there's also the rainwater line, which connects the downspout, the foundation drain, and that gets into the combined sewer. The rest of the city is separated. This was very common during the 40s and the 50s, before they passed the Clean Drinking Water Act in 1974. As you can see here, this is the separated portion of it, which is the rest of the city, where there's a line that serves the wastewater to the sanitary sewer, and then there's a rainwater line, which is more serving for the downspouts and the foundation drain to the storm sewer. The sewers, the combined sewers within this area, they've reached their useful life. It's in pretty poor condition. And the next slide will show you how it's just bad. This is a picture that I took last fall when I was out there, and you can see when you drive that area, there are a lot of dips in the roadway, and a lot of it has to do with the pipes collapsing, because during that time when it was constructed, they used what was called the vitrify clay pipe. And those pipes, the time, the joints just give way. There was a lot of root intrusion. The picture on the top right-hand side shows like roots growing within the pipe, and it's just pretty bad condition. So no matter what we do as far as resurfacing the roadway, putting new asphalt, if we do not fix what is underground, it's just not gonna last. With time, it's just gonna cost a lot of money for the city to do an overhaul of the entire system. Now, what we plan on doing with this, as far as rehabbing it, is to line the majority of it. And as you can see on the pictures at the bottom, the before picture shows what the condition is, which is a clay pipe with a lot of roots. and a lot of debris in it. Before we go into construction, the contractor is going to clean and televise it. There hasn't been any maintenance done on these pipes since they were constructed, I think in the 40s and the 50s. That's my understanding. So there's a lot of debris, a lot of root intrusion, and that is what is causing a lot of flooding in that area, because this pipe serves as the stormwater pipe as well as the sewage pipe, as I explained in the previous slide. For the combined sewer project, it's also going to be broken down in phases. This is going to be a 5-year span. Again, the first phase is going to be on Dixie, Damon, Winchester, and kind of go in that order. The water main is going to go first, so this is going to follow after that. And the estimated cost for all 5 phases is $16 million. So I guess the question is, why do we want to act now? First of all, the current regulations out there with the lead service removal, it needs to be done. It needs to be identified, it needs to be removed. And so we want to get ahead of it because of the funding that is available to take advantage of it. There is also a lot of increased investment in disadvantaged communities. Like I stated, President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law is making a lot of money available for disadvantaged communities in the form of grants, and we want to take advantage of that. Number 3 is to take advantage of the funding that's out there. It's been termed once in a lifetime opportunity. You don't know when you're going to get it again, and so I guess we take advantage of it. The infrastructure has reached its useful life, and lastly, the principal forgiveness that the city is going to get for these projects. So how will the city benefit? The city is going to get new infrastructure within the east side neighborhood, where they get new combined sewers, new water mains, moving lead service lines from the water system, free money, taking advantage of the principal forgiveness that is out there, and reducing the water losses, which is really, really important, because one of the things, there is an agency in the Chicagoland area called the Illinois Department of Natural Resources that tracks every community that uses water from Lake Michigan. And on a yearly basis, every community needs to account for how much their water losses are. The last time that the city of Markham was checked, I think it was like in 2017, the city of Markham was losing 27% of the water that is purchased. So what that means is that for every dollar that the city is purchasing water, it's losing 27 cents out of that because of leaks in the system. The target for IDNR is 10%. So fixing these issues is going to help with the revenue of the city. And the next steps. So last year we started with a project plan to initiate the process of the funding. And again, there are 2 projects that we're looking at here. One is the water main, the other one is the combined sewer. So we submitted a project plan, a nomination form for both projects. The water main has already declared environmental review, and the project plan is anticipated to be approved this May 2023 by the IEPA. The next step is going to be the loan application. I've already communicated with the finance department and the city attorney to begin the process. And for the legal and financial requirements, that's going to be the last step to the loan approval. The city needs to pass a debt ordinance to go after and to incur debt for this project. And I believe that is going to be on the May 17th council meeting for the council members to vote on it. One debt ordinance is going to be for the combined sewer rehab project for all phases of it, which is 5 phases. And the second debt ordinance is going to be for the water main and the lead service line, which is all 6 phases of it. For the combined sewer project, it's still being reviewed by the IEPA. I think the next step for that is going to be the environmental review, and then it's going to go down the line. So with that, I'll open the floor up for any questions that you may have.
Hey, Kwesi, let's talk about just real briefly, 60 seconds, about the survey that's going to go out. I know I mentioned to you earlier, I think it's going to be a good idea that we work closely with the alderpersons to work with their residents so we can get a good response back to find out, what's going into the house. So we have to come up with a plan, but I want to work closely with the alderpersons to kind of help out with that process.
Yeah, you do that.
You had a question?
So you're gonna leave the old main,
No, the old days are.
so you show a blue line in that one sewer. Are you sleeving the old ones?
Yeah, combined sewer, yes. That is called CIPP.
No, I know. So you're gonna put a sleeve in the old main,
Yes.
and how many of the old mains are you gonna take out that you can't sleeve, like the ones with the roots in?
Yeah, sure.
So is that what you're gonna do?
Yes, exactly. So in spots where we can outline,
So now when you're separating now the sewer from the water from the drain, where is that going to the separation center where, the county has to refine, or how are you gonna use that rainwater?
so we are not separating.
Well, you showed two different lines.
Yeah. So which one are you talking about?
I'm sort of, I don't claim to be an engineer.
Sure.
But I was in the CPs in the Navy.
Sure.
We've done some of this. But
Yeah.
Let me understand what you're doing with the blue line and the sewer line.
The blue line here?
No, the other one from the house.
This one,
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So you've got a separate main, you're putting a whole new separate main in.
No, this image is to explain what is out there in the city. So on the east side of town,
I'm a little.
Can you hear me?
Hearing it because but I see you're showing separated. Yeah. So you're gonna separate the sewer from the rainwater.
I'm not separating it. I'm showing that these are the two conditions that exist in the city.
Oh.
Yeah. So on the east side.
Some areas have it.
Exactly, yes.
I got it. So
Yes.
they're not all separated.
Yes.
Are you going to separate them?
No, because of cost, yes, that's correct, yes.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, sure.
This is like my second home.
Okay.
Now, what is the total cost of the project?
The total cost of the project for the water main, including the construction phase, the engineering, is $23 million. And for the combined sewers, it's $60 million.
Okay, and how much is that be forgiven?
So for the lead service removal, depending on the amount, so for example, for phase one of this project, the cost that we put together was about $2 million. And we have a report, Mr. Chen has a report, so you look at it if you want to. But that, half of it is going to be forgiven. So the $2 million of it is going to be forgiven. And the rest of them is going to be given 0% interest rate.
Almost.
Sure.
So the lead that you're gonna change, what are we using, coiled copper?
Copper, yes.
Yep. I like plastic better. It never rots out. No plastic, I know that you made, she looks at me crazy, but there's Schedule 80 plastic, it is too.
Some communities do allow, the plastic pipe, but, in the past, a lot of.
How long ago?
I hear you. So most of it that's in the home, are lead or copper.
That's correct, yeah.
Is that what's here now?
Yeah, so based on what we were able to determine from public works.
Usually Chicago or Illinois doesn't like the plastic. I don't think so, I don't know. I know some municipalities. And when you replace the main, are you going with cast iron or?
Ductile iron.
Or the heavy duty plastic?
No, we don't ductile iron.
Are you going back with cast iron?
Not cast iron, ductile iron.
Hey, Crazy, I just for the sake of time,
Yes.
just for the sake of time, we're gonna hold additional questions for the end.
Okay.
But want to thank you for that update. Any other information
No,
want
I
to
think
go?
that should be it. The report, you have a copy of the report, so if anyone wants to take a look at it,
Yep.
kind of get into the nitty-gritty aspects of the projects and the cost,
Yep.
he has a copy. I will stick around to if anyone has any additional questions.
I do have a question for Ms. Champion.
Yep.
Will this presentation be on our website so other people can see it and view it? Or-
We can put it on our website. Right now, just FYI, yes, our website is being redesigned. So we can add it on, for the public can see it.
Yes, he will be. All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Quasi.
I make a motion that we close the floor to RJN Group Incorporated.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's have it. All right, city attorney's report?
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, members of the public, the city attorney's report appears under 7. We start off with 7A, which is proposed resolution concerning the purchase of a 2023 Dodge Ram 3500 and cam spray cold water sewer and drainage jetter for the city of Markham Department of Public Works. This was sent to you by email. You should have already received in advance what I listed exhibit A, the tax exempt lease report information, as well as the description of the item that was involved here, or will be involved, which is the cam spray cold water sewer and drainage jetter. So you should have that this evening, ready to go for your consideration.
Alderman Jones. I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 23-R-702 as presented.
Second.
Okay. Roll,
Alderman Hampton Hauser,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
yes.
Alderman Barron,
Yes.
Alderman McDowell,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next, we have under 7B. This is the proposed ordinance concerning the annual appropriation of the city of Markham, Illinois for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2023 and ending April 30th, 2024.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive reading of ordinance number 23-0-2356.
2356. All right. Second? All right.
Alderman Barron,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Hampton Hauser,
Yes.
Alderman McDowell, yes, motion carried.
Alderman Jones. I'd like to make a motion for passage of ordinance number 23-0-2356, an annual appropriation ordinance, City of Markham, for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2023.
Second.
Roll call?
Alderman Barron,
Yes.
Alderman McDowell,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Hampton Hauser,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next, we have under 7C, proposed ordinance concerning the adoption of the petty cash policy for the city of Markham.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
I make a motion that we waive the reading ordinance number 23-0-2357, an ordinance concerning adopting of the petty cash policy for the city of Markham.
Second.
Motion made by Lady Hampton, second by Lady McDowell. Continue. A roll call?
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderman Hampton Hauser,
Yes.
Alderman McDowell,
Yes.
Alderman Barron,
Yes.
motion carried.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 23-0-2357, an ordinance concerning adoption of the petty cash policy for the city of Markham.
Have a motion? Have a roll call?
Alderman,
Yes, McDowell.
what happened? Alderman Barron,
Yes.
Alderman Jones,
Yes.
Alderlady Hampton Houses.
Yes.
Alderlady McDowell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have under 7D, a proposed ordinance granting zoning map amendment, rezoning 21 parcels owned by the city of Markham and located between 169th Street and 160th Street and Sawyer Avenue and Holman Avenue here in the city of Markham.
All right, I make a motion that we waive the reading of ordinance number 23-0-2358.
Second.
I thought it'd be five. It'll be 5-7, wouldn't it?
Is it
5-8.
No, that's 5-8. That's 5-8.
Okay, it's
It's
5-8.
5-8.
This is 5-8.
Resolution,
That's a resolution.
ordinance. Ordinance. All right. You're
All
right.
right,
Sorry.
okay,
No, I'm
Second.
trying to think where I made a mistake.
okay, we good? Okay, that's the waive the reading. Roll call?
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
Alderman Barron.
Yes.
Alderlady Hampton Houses.
Yes.
Alderlady McDowell.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 23-0-235. An ordinance granting the zoning map amendment, zoning of 21 parcels owned by the city of Markham and located between 159th Street, 160th Street, and Sawyer and Holman Avenue in the city of Markham.
Second.
Roll call?
Alderlady Hampton Houses.
Yes.
Alderlady McDowell.
Yes.
Alderman Barron.
Yes.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we have under 7E, a proposed ordinance authorizing the conveyance of surplus personal property owned by the city of Markham to the village of Robbins, to wit, 2 Ford SUVs.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
I make a motion that we waive the reading to ordinance number 23-0-2359, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of surplus personal property owned by the city of Markham to the village of Robbins, 2 Ford SUVs.
Second. A roll call?
Alderlady McDowell.
Yes.
Alderman Barron.
Yes.
Alderlady Hampton Houses.
Yes.
Alderman Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Alderman Jones?
Yes.
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 23-0-2359, an ordinance authorizing the conveyance of surplus personal property owned by the city of Markham to the village of Robbins, 2 Ford SUVs.
Second. Roll call?
Alderlady McDowell.
Yes.
Alderman Barron.
Yes.
Alderman Jones. Yes. Alderlady Hampton Houses.
Yes.
Chairman, council, that's all that I have on my report.
Thank you. City clerk's report?
I have no report.
All right. City administrator's report?
Yes. First of all, I want to acknowledge Alderman Jones. I want to thank you for all that you've done for the city of Markham. It'll be 3 years, August 5th for me, but it's been a pleasure working with you on the council, and I'm always a phone call away if I could be of assistance in your ward, okay? All right. Good evening, first of all, everybody. I'm Derek Champion, City Administrator. Just want to piggyback a little bit off of what Akwesi was talking about. As you all know, the city of Markham, we have a lot of failing infrastructure, and we have been very aggressive about going after funding. There's a lot of funding opportunities that we have in front of us right now. And working with RJN, and Christina can attest to this, has been really probably one of the best decisions that the city has made in a long time. But we have to work on the infrastructure first. Akwesi and myself, we were just recently at a workshop at the South Suburban Mayors and Managers headquarters last Friday. There was a workshop and a panel with the federal EPA as well as the Illinois EPA, and we had some great information and some funding opportunities. Just this week, I was able to send a request for support letters to our Congressman and Congresswoman Robin Kelly, and as well as Jonathan Jackson. Received one support letter to go after some funding on the federal side with the Army Corps of Engineers. We're really excited about what's happening in Markham, and with the support of the council and of course our finance department. I think they've been really great with understanding the need of the city. Also had the opportunity to go down to Springfield last week for Lobby Day with the mayor and some of the council as well. Had the opportunity to meet with our state senator, Napoleon Harris, to have some capital dollars released. One project in particular is the 57th Street, I-57 overpass, the bridge, to get capital dollars for that. So we have a couple things in the pipeline that's already benchmarked for Markham. They're going to release those that funding that's earmarked for Markham. So we're really excited about that. I think that's it. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right. That goes to the automatic award reports. I will start off with
Alderman Jones.
myself. Okay.
You see you, Alderman.
I was going to say something last, but you know.
If you want to,
usually first.
it's your prerogative.
Go ahead. You go first.
On the time that I've served on a council, I've always identified the biggest problem Markham has had is water and sewer. So, you know, this is something that has been being looked at for a long time. If Governor Quinn had been elected, I think we were in a position to get some of that clean water money, but you know, that didn't happen. So I'm just really pleased now that the federal government through the president and Governor Pritchard are making some of these available, because Markham, and we're not by ourselves, all the communities around us have water systems that are 50, 60, 70 years old. And it's time, believe me, it's time. We have to start somewhere, and the most logical place to start was on the east side from, I think it starts at Paulina,
Dixie
where the combined water sewers or water and sewer lines are connected. So that, and we've been very fortunate that the EPA and water reclamation.
Right, that piece right there, MWRD, that intergovernmental agreement and the funding that we're getting from them is going to be a huge asset for the city.
But I don't want anybody to get discouraged. We need to do the entire city, but we need to do it in sections because of the dollars involved. Because in some of these places, when we start digging up the sewer mains and that, we're going to have to replace the street, and that's going to be very expensive too. But I'm pleased to start anywhere in Markham. Okay, I agree with where they're starting. In my particular area, west of Kedzie, we still have some 4-inch mains. So that problem will be identified in the very near future. But I don't care where we start, we got to start, and it's going to be huge for all of us. I also wanted to announce that the second week of May is going to be city cleanup. So on your particular garbage day only. So if your garbage day is Wednesday, anything that you stack out by the street, as long as it is construction material or something like that, but anything you stack out there will be picked up. Also, we are going to, Public Works will pick up trees and branches. Okay, if it's long stuff, it needs to be cut no longer than 5 foot long, and it needs to be tied up with a string or something. But we're going to pick up everything. We're going to do a big cleanup for the city, and then after that, it'll be up to the homeowners to do this yourself. But we're gonna pick up probably a couple hundred loads, dump truck loads of garbage and haul it away. That ain't cheap either. We'll still see Alderman Jones the first meeting in May. He will open a meeting, but I want to congratulate him on his 16 years of service. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but I've enjoyed my time with him, and so I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you. All right. Other lady, Hampton Hauser.
Yes, well, I do. Thank you, sir. Well, good evening, everyone. I do want to start off by actually giving my accolades to Alderman Jones. I recall when I first became an alderman, I had many phone conversations with you off and on, and asking for your leadership in teaching me how to conduct meetings. And I have to honestly say you truly were a scholar in reference to teaching me. And I humbly appreciate that information that you shared with me, and you gave it to me in due diligence, and I actually ran with it. I appreciate you so much for sitting on my left side here, even during the council meetings when I was asking questions of you, and you answered those. So I thank you so much for being a senior alderman and teaching me as a new alderman coming in how to conduct meetings. So I humbly appreciate you for that. And I wish you the best in your endeavors and whatever your future endeavors are. I humbly just appreciate you so much. And I'm lost for words to a certain degree, but you understand what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you've done for me. And then moving forward, I do want to state as well, I'm so elated in reference to us getting the repairs done on the east side of our city of Markham, coming from Dixie Highway, going east all the way to Park Avenue. It's well needed. I have to honestly say we are truly blessed to have a good organization, good leadership to actually move our city forward. I want to give accolades to our mayor as well, because he did spearhead this, and he understood as well in reference to what our city requires and how to prioritize what is necessary for our city. So I do want to thank him in his absence for spearheading that project. And then third, just piggybacking off of Alderman, that we are having our cleanup week. So please make sure that you read that information, know exactly what needs to be sent out, and let's clean it up. And that's the end of my report at this present time.
All right. Other lady, Wanda McDowell.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, residents and council. I want to remind everyone, Mother's Day is approaching, and on May 4th, the city council, along with the Park District, will be having our annual Mother's Day brunch, which would actually be May 4th at 12 o'clock. If there's anyone from the second ward and you would like to attend, you can see me. And also I'm excited that they have, on the east side, have started all the fire hydrants. You probably have noticed that the fire hydrants are all white. Well, that's the primer. It's a special primer that has to be put on all the fire hydrants. And they have to sit for 10 days. I spoke with the fire chief. And so now they're coming back around and they're a bright, bright yellow. So that is a plus in one of my projects when I came aboard that I wanted to see, and it is now fulfilled in our second ward. Now they're working their way over in the Canterbury area. Also, Alderman Jones, I want to wish you well. I know the road in your 16 years here on this council probably has not always been easy, but we've had good times. So I want to wish you success as you move forward with whatever steps God has for you next.
Thank you.
That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to say it's been an honor to chair this meeting, even though they said 16 years, it's actually been 20 years. Yes, it's 20 years. I've been here for 20 years, so, you know, it's been an honor. Yeah, where the time goes, it's just amazing how, I think I'm the part of the old regime from the old council chambers when we was over there. Me and the attorney was talking about that. So I will say it's an honor to chair this meeting tonight and to be thankful for the residents of the Third Ward that put up with me for the past 20 years. It's amazing how time flies, and I was only in my 20s when I started, and now I'm 49. I'm looking back, and it's like, wow, where did time go? But I really appreciate the residents, putting me into this seat, and I like to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I mean, it's been a long time coming, and I will miss you all, guys. I think that you all are moving in a great direction. I like the vision. I like the changes. The mayor's doing a great job, and you all councilors are doing a great job. And I like to say, keep up the good work. I like all I want to say that I was saying is that I wish I could say everything was perfect, in the perfect world, but I tried my best. A lot of things I made, decisions I made, I wish I could have took back. Some of them I'm glad I kept. But we worked as a team collectively to get things done. And I love the direction that this council is going in. And I thank you very much. And the new council member coming up, Joe Bertrand, he'll be taking my place. And I look forward to working with him and anything he needs done. Thank you all.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Public comment is coming up. Wait 1 second.
Yeah.
1 second. It's coming. One more moment. Okay. All right. Now we move into public session where anyone who wants to address the council can sign in. Have anyone signed in?
No.
Yes, please.
And I make a motion that we open the floor to the public.
Second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, all right.
I had to.
It was fantastic.
No. Oh.
Every time goes, man. Every time goes. That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's not,
I know.
not at all.
So,
That's just it. All of the she Yes.
All right. Ms. Spears?
Ms. Spears?
All right.
Leslie, she signed in. Ms. Williams.
Good evening.
I'm glad to see that we're moving ahead with replacing these lead pipes, because I knew seeing that other communities were experiencing this, that we were coming along. My house was built in 1959. I've been in it 52 years and we have no problem. But I did have the standpipe replaced with PVC. I'm not sure what else is there. I'd like to thank Alderman Jones for all that he has done whenever I've called him, especially about that entertainment place across the street, across 167, that had my windows rattling like wood under pressure. He personally came out and addressed the case of place. My concern this evening is about one of my neighbors just informed me that the house across the street has been shot up 10 to 15 times, and no one from the city sent out anything about this. I also found out through one of the detectives that investigated one, I have 2 bullet holes in my house. Fortunately, they did not come through. Thirdly, I'm still concerned about the idiot that comes down and does donuts in the cul-de-sac across from me in the winter with snow on the ground as well as in the summer. And then periodically he will disappear and let things calm down. Chief Genius has been good. I've seen a lot more officers coming up and down Oxford Drive. So I haven't seen or heard the car out there doing that. I've also seen the marks on the ground at 163rd in Oxford. So it's not happening just across the street from me. But if he loses control, he's gonna end up in my front room in my lap when I watch television. So I'm saying if we cannot catch this person, I'm requesting that guardrails be put up just as they are across the street in front of Lisa's house.
Okay.
I'm glad to see that my city council is doing all that it is doing. I applaud all of you all and thank you. I know there's a few additional things we can do. I'd like to be kept informed when something as serious as 10 to 15 shootings across the street from my house is happening. And I'd like to know, since the woman whose son is the target of these shootings is renting the house, why we cannot get her evicted. I've been told that maybe she's got something going on with the landlord or whatever. I don't care about that. I want this eliminated. And if not, I would like to know why it cannot be, since this is happening, and I'm sure the police department should have records on this.
Yes. Thank you. Ms. Spearman, one of the great things that we are doing right now is we have these cameras that's identifying license plates. So the chief, you can speak to Chief Jack Jeans after the meeting, but they're actually increasing security and patrols over there to make sure this issue is resolved.
Well, there is one of these new lights up on California that's not helping us down on Oxford Drive. Also, and I forgot to mention this, we've got these empty houses, and I hope we are doing something about it because across the street from me again, they're moving in and out. The house to the north of me has been empty for several months. House west of me, someone finally bought. The old cookhouse, which is across the street and 2 doors east of Lisa, has been empty for probably a couple of years now. And I don't know what happened, but the young man said that he had been forced out. He had been trying to keep the house up, he had been making repairs on it. Suddenly, the house is boarded up and empty. That does not make sense because if you've got somebody in that pay taxes, we've got revenue coming in. So we should be encouraging people to come in, not putting people out.
Thank you. All
Also,
right.
excuse me, Ms. Spears, also, I'll get an opportunity to talk to you after the city council meeting as well, Ms. Spears.
Howard Westerman.
The wise
Thank you for your service.
wise
20 years.
Why?
I consider this like my home, my second home, this town, this municipality. I'm just here, I don't need to speak to the microphone. I want to congratulate, I don't know, were you all at the grand opening at Amazon?
Yes.
All of you were? Oh, it's not, I was just saying, it's been a real team effort. It's been one joy working with this community. Everybody in it, and even the folks that live here, you get it? And I'm sorry to see you leave. You get it? We should all give him a clap. I've been here, but I've been here longer than you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
I was here. When did you? I was here with your dad.
Right.
How long ago was that?
That's the 80s.
Huh?
80s.
So how many years have you? That's almost 30 years.
I've been here since 1973.
What?
Since 1973, I was born here.
Oh, you were born?
Yeah. Do you know Louis Tony? Yeah, I remember the old guys, you know.
Like I was born here myself. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wiseman.
All right.
Jonathan Evans.
Hello. I'm real with all you cats.
That's right.
Father, tell him I'm coming back.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of issues.
If you need to put the microphone, yes.
Me and my wife, we have embarked on a new career in Markham on purpose. I was born in English Hospital. I care about the town. I went anywhere I wanted to go with my money. I chose Markham on purpose. One thing that kind of, and as far as the lady goes, I screen my tenants. You can't have a criminal background. You gotta have good credit. If you have a job, you need 3 months up. You don't wanna lose that. So I'm picky about who I let around me, and I'm sorry that has happened in Markham, and I believe that's what's happening out here. These people are buying these homes, they don't care who they put in. And I got a feeling that's what's happening out here. Well, I do. My lawns have not a one dandelion, all of them, top of that. But there's an ordinance out here to register your home. I don't know if you guys are familiar. You gotta register your home. They also wanna do inspections. Okay, I ain't got no problem with that. When the home is purchased, it's inspected. Now you gotta register and inspect again while you under permitted. Yes, you get what I'm saying? So now you're constructing this home and putting it back together, trying to get rid of these black boards on these windows around here. And now that you don't know about that particular rule, now you're penalized. I've had houses I've been doing for a year or more. I don't know nothing about these fees. I posted the whole thing, find them. I gotta go locate this ordinance, don't even know what's out there. And now I'm being penalized on each home because I didn't know the rules. I didn't know you had to register a vacant home. It just didn't make sense to me if it was under permits. It just don't register. And I don't know why that is.
The process is confusing as far as when you have to purchase the tenant portion. You don't have a tenant.
But you gotta buy it.
Right, it's so many different inspections that you have to pay for. For instance, if I'm selling my home, then you have to pay for an inspection. Then the person that's coming in, they have to pay for an inspection. If I'm rehabbing my home, I don't have a tenant yet. So I shouldn't have to pay for the tenant coming in until we're done with all the permits and everything. And that's,
Okay, one example.
it's confusing.
We just had 4 folks move in. It's time to register. We just went through a regular inspection with them, and all of them did first walkthrough.
In the month of April.
Now we gotta do another inspection. That's kind of rhetorical. You get what I'm saying? Somebody needs to look at that. I'll express it to Roger briefly at the fire station. Now, he told me he didn't know nothing about it. Hey, are you guys familiar with it?
No,
John.
I'm not.
Can you see me tomorrow?
I sure can.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Peter and Lori.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm approaching the board today because of an issue I'm having. I'm kind of just honestly seeking assistance or guidance on the next steps I can take in resolving it. My issue is in just getting a building permit approved. I purchased a house about 3 months ago that I originally planned on residing in. And when you first walk through her house, like construction is unpredictable. So I didn't notice that the bathtub was cracked and there was some legal safety issues with the wiring for the electrical. So I just thought we were just going to do a like remodel. So that's what I pulled a permit for and moved forward. Then once we got into it, I was advised by my contractors that, hey, you might want to fix this if you plan on living here. So I said, go ahead and fix it. I didn't really realize at the time that I needed to stop what we were doing and reapply for a additional building permit that notated exactly what we were doing. So I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I made that mistake on my own, and I owned it. However, the issue I'm having, I don't have an issue with that. The issue I'm having is being penalized, and it almost feels like I'm being retaliated against for making that mistake by one of the inspectors, Mr. Restick. I actually came up here and asked for an update for my permit, and he told me that we're putting you on ice. We're putting you on ice. You were slick. You got caught up with putting you on ice. And I called him. I didn't know how to respond to this. So I called him like a week later, and I told him, like, man, I was like, hey, I apologize. It wasn't like that. Maybe you might experience that, but I obviously made a genuine mistake. And he was like, I understand, but you know, you're gonna have to wait. And on your website, on the front page, third paragraph of the mayor's message, it says, you guys have professional employees that will provide customer service in a workmanlike manner, that will provide it in a prompt manner, I'm sorry. And there's no promptness in getting this resolved. And him saying put it in on ice honestly feels like, because I made a mistake, they're purposely holding off on my permit because I made a mistake. And I just don't feel like that's right. I'm pretty sure if I submitted a FOIA request for all permits that were submitted after mine, you'll find multiple permits that were approved. So mine is like perfectly targeted. It's almost 2 months. And I'm real passionate about this because he doesn't understand how that's really affecting me financially and my family. So I guess I'm just coming up here to ask if anyone can like help me out.
All right, sorry that you went into that problem. What's the address?
166, 17
Sawyer, that's
You.
okay. All right. I can definitely sit with you after the meeting, and we can see what we can do. Derek Champion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're welcome, thank you.
Did you say 156 or
What
He
was
said
that?
166.
166.
What is it?
166?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's me.
66.
Can you see me? Can you see me after the meeting, please?
Sorry, I thought it was 156.
Good evening. I wasn't going to speak about, I was thinking about, how, Alderman Jones has been very supportive of the Nature Conservancy, and his children, and you know, we have the All Nature Festival every year, and he's always been there. His kids have just been stellar in engaging with that, and I want to thank you on behalf of the Nature Conservancy for your support. And then also to say, when we're talking about flooding and natural infrastructure, just remember that the prairie capital of the prairie state has natural infrastructure that sucks up a whole lot of water that does not get to people's houses. So as a member of the community, I just wanted to say that and also remind us the value of what the prairies offer to Markham, especially when it comes to flooding. And being a conduit to even encourage persons to know, even on your property, there are things you can plant. There's natural infrastructure that can help with flooding. That's just me. Anybody ever wants to connect with it. But I wanted to also ask that anybody has gotten information about a questionnaire that we're doing for Markham and Markham area. So this we go, check this out. Markham area and 25 miles out, to try and get information the best way we can be the best neighbor as a resource in Markham. Has anybody seen that questionnaire? Well, is it okay if I send the link to the alderman? and you share it with your residents? Sure. Because we did a survey before, but the people who answered were not the ones we wanted to really connect with. So we want to get the information from the residents of Markham, and I will send it out.
Yes.
And, there's gonna be some cash gifts or whatever, that are gonna be chosen for those who do get it in. Not everybody, of course. Not everybody, but there'll be some dollars for that. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak. Yes, ma'am.
When did you send those questionnaires out? When was that?
The emails went out, I sent it to.
Oh, it's emails.
It was an email.
Oh,
And I have paper copies as well, but it's kind of difficult.
Yes.
Doing paper copies, it takes about 15 minutes, and so just even having that, and people taking the time to do it, so online, we have, English and Spanish, and I will just send that to the alderman.
No, my question was, when did you send that out? You say it went out earlier?
Yes, it's only been about a week.
Oh, okay.
It's new, but it's only about May 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you can get it to Derek Champion, maybe we put it on our website and our Facebook page, and get it out there way, media blast. So that'd be great. Okay, so talk to Derek Champion. All right, thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for the comments. I appreciate it.
I didn't realize it was your last session, but since you were the last one, I said, I'm gonna say something.
Thank you.
Make a motion to close the floor to the public.
I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting to the public.
Oh, second.
All right. Number, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And,
Motion for adjournment?
Second. We're moving fast on these, Jones, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want Phil to stand up for a minute. I know that you have a couple items. Phil is the owner of Buddy Bear Car Wash. I know that you have some items that you want to pass out. I didn't want to forget that.
Okay. This
Right.
was,
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. There you go.
mm-hmm.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know those. Ooh,
Party gift.
I know those feelings.
All right.
I know the feeling.
What is their air freshener?
What I do, thank you.
Okay, that's one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Once again,
Ms.
I
Spears.
appreciate being here and make a motion to adjourn. It was already done?
We did seconds.
Okay.
We did already.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wow.
Ms. Spears.